Hey there, planners. I am here today to walk you through my Sunday reset process. I mentioned in a video a while back that I have kind of a Sunday reset process that I use that really helps me get ready for the week ahead, wrap up the previous week. And so many of you asked me to share more information about my Sunday reset. And I have been wanting to film that video for weeks, but I keep forgetting. And I would already get into the reset process and be like, oh yeah, I forgot to film it. So it's Sunday and I'm remembering to film it. So go grab your planners and let's get planning. All right, so first of all, let's talk about my process and checklist. I have this little checklist that I use for my Sunday reset. I made this myself. The images actually come from the Planner Press subscription box. It's the digital dashboard subscription box. I get it monthly. These are dashboard images that came, I believe, in the month of March, maybe February. But I love using these things. It's such a fantastic, if you like to print your own, or you're comfortable printing your own dashboards, vellums, acetates, stickers, things like that at home, you would love this subscription box because you get really awesome dashboards every month. And I end up using it for a lot more than just planner, tip-ins. This, for example, this was the dashboard. All I did was go in and add in, hopefully you can see that, add in the word Sunday reset, right? I just added that in on top of the image. And then for this was the dashboard, just the girl with the white. And then I added in my checklist, printed it out in the size that I wanted, put them back to back, ran them through the laminator. And now I have this great little cheat sheet that I keep in my planner. I usually just tuck it right here and then pull it out on Sundays when I'm ready. Very, very simple to make. I would encourage you to make your own. If you are, interested in having a Sunday reset process, you could make a list in your planner, or you could, make yourself a cheat sheet that will last a little while. So this is my cheat sheet. It's Sunday. I have my coffee. I'm still sipping my coffee this morning, and have had breakfast, and now I'm ready to just do a little bit of planning. And the goal of my Sunday reset is to kind of clear out and close out this week that I'm currently in. For me, let's just get this out on the table. For me, Sunday is the last day of the week and Monday is the first day of the week. Now, I know this is a hotly debated topic in the planner world, and that's why we see Monday start and Sunday start calendars. I don't know how in the world you can think about Monday not being the first day of the week. I know that some people, my own daughter considers Sunday the first day of the week. So I don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't know how she got to that conclusion. Anyway, for me, Sunday is the last day of the week. Monday is the first day of the week. Regardless of how you think about it, pick a day that is going to be your reset day, and you are wrapping up the current week, which for me is the week that I'm currently in, and getting ready for the week ahead, which for me will start tomorrow on Monday. Okay, now that hotly debated, passionate topic is out of the way, let's move on. So when I flip over, I just have this really condensed list of things that I want to do during my reset to get ready. Number one is to clean up. I'm not going to do that on camera. I've already done that. But basically, what you can't see around my desk area gets really messy during the week. When I'm planning, when I'm doing projects, this is my little office space, so I have just stuff everywhere. So the first step for me is always to clean up the physical space. And that just helps me kind of reset the environment. It's almost like, starting with a fresh space is like starting with a fresh week. So that is my first step, and I have already done that. My next step is to go ahead and set up the week ahead in my planner. Now, regardless of what planner you're using, this step will apply. If you have a pre-printed planner and you like to, highlight certain sections or put some stickers down or put washi down and decorate it, or divide the day into 3 sections, whatever it is that you do, or if you have a blank notebook like I use a B6stology right now, so when I say set up the week, I'm setting up from pages like this that are blank. Whatever it is that you need to do to set up the week ahead, go ahead and do that. Get that out of the way and set up your week. I have already done that as well because I knew that would take some time, and so I went ahead and did that before I started the video. And basically for me, that's just about setting up the days: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Now I've got the week set up. I've also got my blank grocery list and another page which I'll talk about how I use that. So that is already set up for me. The third step, which is to set up the brain dump page, I've also already done because what I'm going to do is use the brain dump page from the previous week. So when I set up a week, as I did in the case of the coming week, I always include this blank page. And the reason I do this is to use this as a brain dump as the week goes on. Because as I'm going through the week, let's say on Tuesday something comes up, it's not for this week, I need to think about it for the future, but it doesn't really belong on a calendar. Maybe it's a to-do or a task, or just something I need to remember in the future. I will put it in my brain dump section, which is exactly what I've done for the week that I'm currently in. So when I set up this current week, I set up this page, it was blank. And then as the week goes, I come in here and I pop in things that I need to remember. I've still got space. I've got this whole page. I've used sticky notes. So that is my brain dump page that's already set up. If you don't have a page like this, or you don't have a place in your planner that you can use for a brain dump, just go grab a piece of blank paper, or a notebook, a sticky note, what scratch paper, whatever you want to use, notes pages in your planner, wherever you want to do it. You just need to have a place a free space where you can make some bulleted list of items. So that's number 3, set up your brain dump page. Number 4 is to status the current week. So this is really about closing out the current week. And what that means for me is I will go through, let me flip back to Monday in this week. I will go through and look over all of the tasks, appointments, to-dos, all of that stuff, and make sure everything is closed out. And if there's anything left open, for example, I can see like this to-do is left open. I don't have any mark there. That is something that I'm going to need to do something with. Either say cancel it, I don't need that anymore, or I will migrate it forward on my brain dump list. So I'm going to take a minute and kind of flip through my week and just bring everything to current, migrate anything that needs to move forward into my brain dump list. All right, so now I've done that. I've gone through the week and I pulled in anything that needed to be moved over that wasn't complete this week. There were some things that I didn't move over. I didn't do them, and I don't feel like I need to do them anymore. So I didn't move them over. But anything that was on the list that did not get done or that I need to do something else with, I put it on the brain dump list. All right, the next step in my Sunday reset checklist is to get to inbox 0. And some of you may be intimidated by that. Depending on the current state of your email inbox, this may be very intimidating. But let me tell you, I cannot encourage you enough to carve out the time to actually get to 0 in your inbox, meaning there are no emails there, read or unread. There's nothing in there. Take the time to do this. Your inbox can be a real source of anxiety or, feeling like there's things in there that are lurking. At least it is for me. And I guess this depends on how you use email. For me, I have a couple of different email accounts, but my main email account where things come in from my kids' school, about my daughter's, college, doctors email us there. I get notifications about my vet appointments for my pets. Like, family members will email me there. That's really an important place of a source of to-dos and things I need to remember and to get done. And so to have things lurking in the inbox and not properly sorted, either deleted or saved, archived, things like that, that is really important for me to do. So at one point in time, I had thousands of emails in my inbox, but I carved out the time to deal with that, get it to 0. And now, because I'm doing this, every Sunday, I'm doing my Sunday reset, and I'm making sure I try to keep up with it during the week, but that's not always possible. So, getting to inbox 0 every Sunday is really important. So I am going to go over to my laptop and get into my emails. And as I'm going through my emails, I may find additional things that I need to add to this list. Now, if I find, more than 4 things, I will just spill over to this page over here. I've got plenty of room over here to keep going with this, so I'll just spill over here. But this is my next step, so I'm going to go get into my email. All right, I'm to inbox 0, and I did end up adding several items from my inbox that I need to take care of. And everything else is either sorted into a save folder or deleted because I didn't need it. And, not everything is a to-do. So, for example, I got a note from Netflix. I got an email from Netflix telling me about a new show that I want to check out. Is anybody else interested in Persuasion? Anyway, so I just kind of want to note that. And I don't know that I'll put it in my next week to-dos, but I do like to make lists of things that I kind of want to watch. I keep that list, so I want to add that to that list. So that's just an example of, not everything is necessarily a to-do with a time, a serious to-do with a deadline, but there are things in there that I want to capture. And there are some to-dos with deadlines and timing. So anyway, now I'm at inbox 0. Time to move on to the next step. All right, so the next step is to use my brain dump triggers list. Now, I have talked a ton about brain dumps. I have a whole, actually several videos on brain dumps. I'll have that listed down below. It's part of my weekly review process. For work, I keep a list of brain dump triggers for work, and I keep a list of brain dump triggers for personal. And what I like to do with this is I've got it written down in my Hobonichi Cousin. I set this off to the side so that I can see the list. And then I just go one by one through my brain dump triggers list and see, are there other items that I need to take action on, to do, something I need to add to the future weeks or to somewhere else in my planning system. I've talked a ton about why this is so important for me. For me, I cannot hold all the things I need to do in my head. I know I will forget something. So, a lot of times people assume because I keep planners and I'm so into planners that I'm extremely organized. Actually, I'm not very good at organization, which is why I have to keep planners and be really into planners, because I can't remember all the things that I need to do. I know myself. I know I will forget something. And so using a brain dump triggers list is a way that helps me get everything out of my head that I need to, and things that aren't even on my radar that I need to take action on and take care of so that I can stay on top of everything. If you're interested in learning more about brain dump triggers and how to create your own list, I'll leave some videos listed down in the description below for you to go check out. But right now, I'm going to use my brain dump triggers list and keep adding to my list. All right, so you can see from my brain dump triggers list, I added a few more items. And that's why it's so important to have one of these, because these weren't things that were top of my mind, and I probably would not have remembered them had I not used my brain dump triggers list. So that one's done. Next up is events and appointments, and I have a few different places that I go to grab these. So one is I set up in this planner a future log in the form of monthly calendars. So I put all the monthly calendars at the beginning of this planner so that I could use it as a future log, and I did that through August. So I've got that view. So what I'll do is go look here and pull in any of the events going on over the next week. Another place I look for this is also my family's Google Calendar. So we have a shared Google Calendar. If you guys want to hear more about that, how I set that up and how we're using that as a family, it's absolutely fantastic. I mean, Google Calendar is pretty intuitive, right? But having color coding and making it aesthetic, I really like, setting specific colors so that everybody has a color and it looks aesthetic. Let me know if you'd like to hear more about how I am using Google Cal as a family calendar. All right, so that's the other place I go look. And what I'll do is I'll probably use this sticky note and just make note of any appointments or events that are happening next week that I need to make sure I get into the next week's setup. All right, so I checked Google Calendar, checked the future log, grabbed all of the things going on next week. I do have one thing that spills over into the following week, but there are things I need to do next week to be ready for that. So I put that on here, and now I've got all of that captured. So the next thing I do is task and to-dos. Now you may think, gosh, you already have a bunch of stuff here. But what I like to do with this is go to my reoccurring task list, which I keep in my planner. I have a whole video about how to set this up, how I use this, and how much I rely on this to keep me straight. But this is basically a list of monthly and quarterly, weekly, and daily things that are reoccurring that I need to do. So, watering plants, having time off work, printing planner inserts, house chores, all of that stuff. So I will quickly go through this list and pull in anything that needs to be done on the following week. And typically I will reference the monthly, quarterly, and weekly list for that, just to make sure that stuff is getting done. The other place that I will look is also, I keep a brain dump for the month. So if I flip back to my July setup, which I have a video for how I set up a month. I'll leave that listed down below. But there may be things on here that I need to pull in as well. So I'll reference both of those and make sure anything on these lists that needs to be captured in the week ahead is also captured here. All right, so from those two areas, I pulled in a couple more things. And now the last step that I'm going to take as far as completing this brain dump is to look ahead. And that just means looking ahead on the calendar beyond next week. Sometimes I do that like a month ahead just to see if there's anything coming up in the next month that I actually need to do some prep work for. Now, I will say I've done that in some of these areas. Some of these things go out beyond next week, but just one more look ahead at my family's Google Calendar as well as my future log to make sure there's nothing else that I've missed that I need to capture. I've got everything from the look ahead. I'm all the way down to number 9, the look ahead. The last item is journaling, and I actually am not going to do that on camera, but I do like to go back in my Hobonichi daily pages and just journal anything that I try to keep up with this on a daily basis. I try to journal every day, but some days I miss. And so I like to go back and reference my daily pages and just see if there's anything, if I missed a day, going back and kind of journaling what happened that day. So that's my reset list. Now I'm ready to set up the week ahead. So I've got all of this stuff, and you may be thinking, oh my gosh, that's an overwhelming list. There's no way you can do that in a week. And you're absolutely right. I cannot do that, all of this stuff in the week. But my head is clear. This is everything in my environment, in the universe, that I might need to think about for the future. I'm going to pull from this list into the next week and further out. So some of these may end up in my future log. Some of these may end up in a, someday maybe list. Some of these things are just like, items that I won't get to, but I needed to get them out of my head so they're not there anymore. And, I can do with them what I want to. The point is to get everything in one place where you can see it. Now I'm ready to flip over and start populating my weekly setup. So I'm going to start pulling in things that need to go into this weekly setup. I'm going to grab some stickers because I love some stickers in my daily pages. So I'm going to start doing that. All right, so I have gone through the items on my brain dump list and plugged in things into my week, whether they're appointments or to-dos, events, things like that, that I needed to plug in. The rest of what's left, because I didn't get to everything on here, the rest of what's left, I have to decide where it goes and what I'm going to do with it. I may just need to sit on it for a couple days, or I may need to put it in a future log, or maybe it just transfers to my longer term list. I'm just not sure what to do with those things yet, and I will come back and revisit this throughout the week as I go, and also at the end of the week. So that's kind of where it stands. Most of the things got into the week, but those things that are left over, maybe they need to go on next month's brain dump list, because again, I set up for the month, I set up a master brain dump. And the way I set this up is I go back through all those miniature brain dumps, all those weekly brain dumps, right, and pull things in. And if it's not moving, if it keeps moving and I'm not doing it, then that's probably an indicator that's just not something that's a priority for me. And I can go ahead and cross that off and know I thought about it, I looked at it, and I've eliminated it. So that is the end of my weekly review Sunday reset process. Hopefully, I still have to journal, and I will do that, but I'm going to do that off camera because it's kind of private, my journaling. But hopefully this gives you some great insight into how I personally reset on Sundays. Now that I've done this, my planner is ready to go. On Monday next week, it's all set up. I've got things in there. I can keep pulling things in as I need. I can, update as needed, but I feel very prepared headed into the next week. Now what I can do is close the planner and go have some downtime on Sunday and possibly check this item off, which is that new show on Netflix, which I'm thinking about watching. I really hope you enjoyed this. I hope you got some ideas out of it. Lots of you asked for this video. I hope this was helpful. I would love to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. Do you have a weekly reset process? What's involved in that reset? Are there things that I should consider? I would love to hear your ideas. That's one of my favorite parts about hearing from you guys, is you guys have such great ideas and things that you're doing. Please leave all of that down in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to Planning Annie for more content like this. And as always, thanks for planning with me.